Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, this is my end of the month declutter with me, and I decided once again to come up here to my dining room. I really liked this location for my last video sharing everything that I decluttered for this month. So I decided to go ahead and bring everything up here again to share with you. And as has been the case throughout this year, my sweet friend Cammy from the channel American Wife will be joining me once again. She will be showing you everything she decluttered this month. So please check out her channel, which I will have linked down in my description box below. But let me show you everything I decluttered this month. Once again, I was quite surprised at how much I was able to let go of. So let's get into it. Okay, my friends, let's get into everything I decluttered in the month of August. So first up are some items from my kitchen. And the first thing I wanted to share with you are these hand towels or kitchen towels. And I like to replace these every few years. They just kind of get into bad shape, especially these that are white. They're dingy, they have stains on them. You might not be able to tell through the camera, but trust me, they have seen better days. And actually, I decided that I really did not need 6 hand towel or kitchen towels to have on hand. And so I only purchased 4 to replace these 6. Next up, I have these 2 refrigerator bins because they broke, and actually one of them completely broke and fell off the door, and all of my condiments fell all over the place. It was a pretty big mess. So I noticed this one was also starting to have the same problem. This is like broken. I don't know if you can see that, but it starts coming apart, and just the way it's designed, how it sits on the door, it puts pressure on that part, and so it can easily just fall off. Hard to explain, but just trust me, it's broken. And this is not the first time this has happened in this refrigerator. I knew that I had purchased at least one of these bins in the past. So I went back on Amazon and went through my buy again to purchase another one or 2. And I noticed the last time that this happened was back in 2018. So it's been several years now. But back then I remember I tried to fix it by using some Gorilla Glue, but it did not hold. And so I decided this time I wasn't even gonna mess around with trying to glue it back together. I was just gonna purchase new ones, but I did wanna let you know, I did try to fix it and it didn't work, so I had to get some new ones. Next up, I have this little jar, and it actually is a spice jar, but I was holding almond flavor in it. I have this, and then obviously vanilla. Everybody has vanilla on hand, I think. So I sometimes like to use almond flavor instead of vanilla when I'm baking. However, I don't know if maybe it had some alcohol in it or something, because the lid, while the lid was bamboo, the inside of the lid, there was some plastic. And whatever was in this almond flavor, it like broke down the plastic on the lid, and it started just kind of disintegrating and falling into the almond flavor. So that is not good. So I unfortunately can't decant my almond flavor anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this. And I did wanna say, I recognize that this is something I could upcycle. I could probably use it for another purpose. But honestly, since the lid is gone, I'm gonna go ahead and give this away. Maybe someone else would like to upcycle it, but I found for myself personally, I know that I typically don't end up using items like this, even if I have good intentions to. Next, I do have this item, which you might have no clue what this is, but I do have an AeroPress, which it basically just makes espresso shots. And this is a holder for the filters, the little filter, the paper filters that I would use to make my espresso shots with the AeroPress. However, I found that there is a reusable one that is stainless steel. And so I decided once all of my paper filters were gone, that I was gonna go ahead and get rid of this paper filter holder and just always use the reusable one. So we don't need this anymore. Okay, a few more random items from the kitchen. This is a coffee mug, but it's like an insert that goes inside of like a stainless steel metal thing. But my husband doesn't ever use this insert. He just uses the mug by itself, like the stainless steel portion without this. And we have another lid that fits onto the stainless steel portion. So since we don't ever use this, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. This is a water tester, which we used to use it. So we have a reverse osmosis system in our home, and you can test your water to make sure that it's still filtering properly. It helps you determine, you know, when you need to replace the filters. But we have found what works best for our family is to replace the filters about every 6 months. So we do that now, and we don't really use this tester anymore. Lastly, I have this stray lid that belongs with some sort of water bottle, but I cannot find said water bottle, so I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye to this lid. Next up, I will be sharing with you some items from my bathroom. So first up, I have multiple toothbrushes. This is an electric toothbrush. I do have the charger. I did decide to replace it only because it was not charging properly. I basically had to charge it every other day, and so I did decide to replace it. I have had this electric toothbrush for many years, and the one that I got is a smaller, more streamlined version of an electric toothbrush. And actually, one of the benefits of the one that I chose is that it stays charged for a very long time. It also came with a travel case, and so I no longer need this travel case because I wouldn't take my electric toothbrush with me because I'd be afraid that it would run out of batteries. So I would always take this toothbrush, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the toothbrush and the case since I will no longer be using that. And then I have a couple of extra toothbrushes that just came from our dentist that we're not using. I do have, I think it was last month that I got rid of a water pick from our bathroom. It's not here, so I must have gotten rid of it last month. But when I was going through some bins in our bathroom recently, I found these, and these actually go with that water pick. So yeah, we don't need these. And then I have this hair serum stuff that was in with our travel stuff, but I don't ever use this, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And then this is a facial, like, what is it called? What is it called? It's like a facial exfoliant thing. It's almost gone, honestly. I just never liked this. I don't like how it feels on my face. I don't like the smell of it, nothing. So I'm getting rid of it. And then I have this bag, which came from my bathroom. It came with a kit that I bought with nail polish. And what all is in here? Let's see, a bunch of random things are in here. We have some nail polish, we have some makeup, we have some rubber bands and headbands and other nail accessory type stuff. Yeah, some nail accessory stuff that I'm no longer using. So yeah, a bunch of random little things from my bathroom. And then next up, I do have some jewelry that I decluttered from that space. I can link the video where I recently decluttered my jewelry, but here is the little baggie of all of the jewelry that I decluttered this time around, and so I'm happy with that. And then I also am decluttering these chicken wire frames where I used to have my jewelry displayed. I did recently get a new jewelry box because I wanted to have my jewelry protected and inside of a jewelry box rather than just out in the air because some of it was getting tarnished. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these. And I'll be honest, so I kind of made this myself. I like added all these hooks. I've had these for so many years, definitely since the beginning of my channel, which was 5.5, almost 6 years ago. But I don't even remember how long I've had them, but that's how I've had my jewelry organized for a very long time, but it was time for a change. Lastly, from my bathroom, I have a bunch of pouches that hold jewelry, and I am like holding a whole bunch. I actually realized I'm about ready to do a little weekend getaway with my husband, and I realized it would be nice to have a small bag. So I definitely need to pick one of these out to keep. But basically, I don't want to keep all of these because when I got my jewelry box, it came with like a travel jewelry box. It's pretty good sized, so it's not something that I would need just for a weekend getaway. But if I'm going to go away for like a week, 5 to 7 days or more, I would probably want to use that travel jewelry box. But I do want to keep one of these just for a quick getaway, but the rest of them are gonna go. Okay, and then y'all, I'm still going. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm having so much stuff lately. I mean, obviously some of this is just me replacing things, but some of it is also me just getting more ruthless with myself as I declutter. So I want to insert a clip here. I recently did a closet declutter when I decluttered my jewelry. I can link that video for you, but on the day that I filmed that video, I actually filmed my clothes that I was decluttering, and I went through each item to share with you why I was decluttering each item. But that video was getting really long, so I decided I will just throw it in here with this video so you can see all of the clothes that I decluttered this month and why I decluttered them. Okay, I was able to honestly declutter more than I thought I was going to out of this space. So let me quickly go through and show you these items. First up is this orange top, which it's not comfortable, and that is the primary reason why I'm decluttering it. But in addition to that, it's just a bright color, and so I do not wear it very often. Even though I do have some other bright colors in my closet, this particular one I tend to wear probably about once a year during the fall, and I feel like it's just not worth holding on to. I also have two sweaters, which I still love the style of these sweaters. However, they're the exact same style. They're just different colors, but the sleeves are too short on me, and I'm noticing that I'm always like trying to pull the sleeves down. And so because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of them. Not to mention, I have sweaters in both of these colors, so I think it's okay to let those go. And then I do have 3 tank tops, and honestly, I think the only time I wear these tank tops, I choose one of these to wear under this shirt, which I decided to go ahead and get rid of. I kind of still like it, and honestly, I wore it last fall, but once again, it's just like vibrant. The pattern is a little bit much for my taste. I just like things to be really plain, and that is the direction that I'm going, that I notice as I'm getting dressed every day. I like things to just be simplistic, so I think I'm gonna get rid of that. And then like I said, I'm pretty sure that all 3 of these tank tops, they're identical, just in different neutral colors. I think I just wore them under that shirt. I don't believe I have other shirts that I would wear tank tops under. Hopefully I don't regret that, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. And then I do have this camisole shirt, which I used to wear this all of the time. It's just black with some lace detailing, but I noticed this summer that I grabbed my other black camisole instead of this one, and because of that, I decided to just go ahead and get rid of it, because now here we are at the end of the summer. Granted, it's going to be hot here in Austin for another couple of months, but I know that I prefer my other black one more, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then this t-shirt, I actually wore this last week. But the reason I'm getting rid of it is because it really is not in great shape. It has like some staining around the armpits and just in general is discolored. And I have other white t-shirts that I can wear instead. I do love this style and I do wear it frequently, but I have decided that I should just let it go because it's just dingy looking. I actually have the same t-shirt in black and I'm gonna keep that one because it does not look dingy since it's black. But honestly, I think I've had these for over 10 years. And like I said, I have other white t-shirts that I can wear instead. I have 3 of these long wool cardigans. I think it's wool. I don't know. Whatever it's made of, it is not comfortable. So when I'm wearing short sleeves and wearing this cardigan, it is not comfortable. And that is definitely a staple thing that I go to, is wearing a cardigan with short sleeves, like for the fall or the spring. I have several other cardigans that I can wear instead. I think the reason why I've hesitated getting rid of these in the past is because these are more neutral, whereas the ones that are comfortable that I'm keeping are like different colors. So I just need to keep that in mind in the future, that if I want to get more cardigans, that I need to get neutral ones to replace the more colorful ones that I have. But I just know that these are just not comfortable. Lastly, I do have a pair of shoes. These shoes, you can even tell on camera that there's a stain on the front of this shoe that I tried to remove, and you can even see, I think that I tried to remove it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let these go. I have plenty of other casual tennis shoes that I can wear instead of these, so I'm gonna let those go. Okay, so while we are on clothes, I will just show you a quick pile of t-shirts from my husband's t-shirts. He wears basically black and white t-shirts most days. He works from home, and I actually did replace some of his t-shirts recently. I found some at Costco that were a good deal, and some of these are a little worse for the wear, especially the white ones had some stains on it. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter these. And while I'm talking about my husband's things, I don't have everything he decluttered, but y'all, he has been getting on the declutter train. So I know recently I talked about how he replaced some underwear, and so he got rid of some, but I did clean up his bedside table, and I asked him if he could go through and declutter that. And I asked him if he needed some help. He said no, he could just do it on his own. And he didn't exactly show me the pile, but I just asked him briefly what he got rid of, and he definitely got rid of a ton of cords and things like that that he wasn't using anymore. So unfortunately I don't have those to show to you, but I did want to mention that he has been doing some decluttering on his own, and I don't have those items here because he already took care of them. Okay, now on to some random miscellaneous items. I have these drape hooks that I was using in my kitchen nook, and I took those drapes down. I got different drapes just because of the vision that I had for that space. And my husband is actually using the drapes in his office for a different purpose, but he doesn't need these hooks, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the hooks. And this is so unfortunate, y'all. I still really love this navy throw. I actually have 2 of these that are identical because I used to style these in my living room on the back of, I had some side chairs in there that I would throw one blanket on each chair that were identical. This one, I don't know if this is the first time I've washed it or something, but it has like these tassels, and several of them, let me see if I can find, oh my gosh. Several of them just broke. So I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna wash the other one now. And I was like, have I really never washed these? I guess maybe I need to wash it by hand. Okay, my friends, a few other random things. You might have seen some of these items in other videos that I've posted, because I know I sometimes show you the things I'm decluttering on the day that I'm decluttering it, and then I save it all up to take it all at once to the thrift shop. But let's keep going here. Next up is this purse, and if you watched the video where I got a new purse from the company Minoy, they sent me another purse. I said yes to them in part because I really wanted to replace this purse. It is my small purse that I'll take like if I go to concerts or out with girlfriends or something where I don't want like a larger purse. This one, first of all, was really too small. Basically the only thing that would fit in here is my phone and maybe some lipstick, and sometimes I like to take a little bit more than that out. But in addition to that, it really is not in great shape. I've had it for many years, so I'm gonna let this one go. I am also decluttering this Mr. Happy Massager. It's just like a back massager. I just don't ever use it. And I think for the longest time I held on to it because I had this sentimental attachment to it from my college years. I think that's when I got it, but since I don't use it, I feel like it's silly to keep it. Next up are a bunch of extra screws and other pieces to our bedside tables. And I just decided I have not used it in the few years that we've owned these bedside tables, so I highly doubt we will use this little bag of a bunch of screws and whatnots, so it's going. I'm also saying goodbye to this book, The Joy Luck Club. Y'all, I want to be someone who reads. I tried for so long to read this book. I could not get into it. I don't know. Did anybody else read this book? Did you enjoy it? I don't know why I could not get into it because I know so many people just love this book, but I read maybe half of it and I just kept not picking it up. And I don't like doing this where I don't finish something, but the reality is I am not reading it. It's sat in my bedside table for probably a few years now, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go. Lastly, whew, y'all, you made it. One more thing. Well, it's two, but it's in the same category. These two keys. One of them definitely belongs to our front door. Our previous front door. We got a new front door, and so we no longer need the key to our old front door. But the other one, I don't know where it's from. I don't know what it goes to, but I made sure that it didn't go to our other two doors that we have from the outside to the inside of our home. So since I don't know what it belongs to, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Here's your permission today. Random keys that you don't know what it belongs to, just get rid of it. Okay, my friends, thank you so much. If you stuck with me all the way until the end, I cannot believe, like I said, how much I could get rid of this month. I am just getting extremely ruthless with myself, but I really appreciate you watching all the way until the end. Please don't forget to check out Cammy's video as well if you want even more decluttering motivation, and I will see you next time. Bye.